Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up to the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Touchdown here. With a new shot clock.
Oh, great no-look to Zizic, who puts it home.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Touchdown, Ohio State. And Curry has to back off as James throws it down.
Struck him out looking. That's his 10th strikeout of the night.
Braxton Miller is loose. Spin move! Miller headed for the end zone!
Edwin drills it. Deep left. It is gone, and the Indians win it.
Smith, alley-oop to James. Wow.
Next thing you go up initially, he's going to take a shot. Has Samir under it. Has his man Kaiser. Perfectly thrown pass to Gordon. Touchdown Cleveland.
Guys, it is time for the NBA Finals. Welcome on in to a brand new edition of the Real Sports Talk Show. Tomorrow night, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be on the road out in Oakland at Oracle Arena for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And we're here to talk some Cavaliers basketball as we get ready for what could be either a good way to end the season or it could be a brutal way, but my co-host over here, Mr. Kevin Rosser, is going to get you ready for Game 1 tomorrow night. Rosser, take it away.
Well, I feel like the both of us have been avoiding the Cavs this entire postseason because, with the exception of the Pacers series, both the Raptors and the Celtics were legitimate threats going into the series against the Cavaliers, and we weren't sure exactly how the Cavs season or when it would really end. I genuinely thought that the Pacers had a good chance to put us away at points during their Game 7 against us, and the Celtics as well a couple nights ago in Boston had a great opportunity to put LeBron away, but Jason Tatum and company could not get the job done. And now we're looking at an unprecedented fourth straight matchup between the Cavs and the Warriors in the finals. And many people outside of Cleveland and Oakland are just sick and tired of seeing these two teams.
How do you feel? Because being completely honest, I'm tired of it. And it's not like I'm terrified of Golden State. I'm just like, why would you want to keep seeing the same teams? Like, I would not want to see the Cubs and Indians go at it for 4 straight World Series. I would not want to see the NFL. I would not want to see the Browns in 4 straight Super Bowls against the same exact team. Give us somebody else has to come through. The NBA's got to do something.
In general, I do like seeing new teams, rise to the top, and I don't really like to see dynasties that much. But in the end of the day, it is our hometown team. We got to root for them no matter what.
Well, yeah.
Against all odds. And speaking of odds, Paul,
it's not good.
The Cavs are coming into this finals as the biggest underdog in 14, 15 years
I think
by Vegas?
15 years.
And I can see why. This is a Cavs team that is, if you compare this team to the team that made the finals last year, no more Kyrie Irving. Kevin Love is playing at less than 100%. LeBron is 1 year older,
is Love playing? I think Love's out.
I believe Ty Lue is saying that he won't be ready for Game 1.
Iguodala's out.
But you're comparing their arguably 5th best player to our arguably second best player.
I was just throwing it out there that
True.
he was out because, Kevin Love so far hasn't really done much either. So I think they're about on the same level. I don't care what anybody says about him being an all-star. On the road, Game 1, what is your take? Do you want to split? Do you think that they, what do you of course anybody's going to be happy with a split. I don't think anybody realistically thinks that they're going to go out there and, what's the thing right now? You put $100 on the Cavs to sweep in Vegas?
No.
And you would get, I think it was like $30,000 if you put $100.
Yeah, it's even still, that's $100 in my opinion. That's down the drain. I think it's going to be very tough for either of these teams to win a game on the road this series. But the most dangerous aspect for the Warriors, beyond their obvious ability to shoot the ball from three-point land, is their ability to quickly build leads or quickly demolish other teams' leads. There was a very interesting article on ESPN.com not too long ago, basically saying in the 4 seasons that Steve Kerr has been head coach of the Warriors, during those 4 regular seasons, even though he was out for most of one of those years, the Warriors have, in 3 out of every 4 of their regular season games, they have at least one 10-0 run during those games. And they are almost unbeatable when they put together a 10-0 run. That's what's so dangerous about this team, is they have 6 or 7 guys that can shoot the ball from three-point land, if not regularly, at least semi-consistently, and then come back on defense, play intense defense, get a steal, force a turnover, force a bad shot up, grab the rebound, come back down, hit another 3, and do the same thing the next possession, and all of a sudden, that's 9 points on the board for Golden State out of nowhere, and you're forcing timeouts to be called out of nowhere, and breaking up the flow of the game, which is exactly what the Warriors want. They want to pick apart teams methodically, and they want to do it as quickly as possible to demoralize their opposition. That is their best feature these last 2-3 seasons, especially the last 2, adding Kevin Durant into the mix, how great of a pure scorer that he is, and being able to get back on defense. Not as much of a defensive savant as Draymond Green, but certainly in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, if not all NBA defensive team.
It doesn't help knowing that right now LeBron is coming into this game, and you have, if Kevin Love plays, you have 2 guys in your starting lineup that are all-stars. And Golden State has 5 guys in their starting lineup. Yes, their entire lineup could be all-stars. And then you have at least 2 guys guaranteed have MVP candidates or have won one. Klay Thompson might be one of the best pure shooters I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Draymond Green, you'll get 12 points, but you'll get 12 rebounds, 12 assists out of him. The guy is a triple-double machine. And, I mean, just being realistic, there's just not a weak spot. They hit threes. They drive the ball down the court every time. They're running. They can set up in a half-court offense. They can do almost anything they want. And the worst thing that the Cavs really have to watch out for, and LeBron does this against KD. All it comes down to is KD, if the Warriors are up by anything in the fourth quarter, straight iso ball with KD, because nobody can guard him. And guess what? Okay, we'll put LeBron on him. And then you get into the trouble of, all right, well, you have George Hill who's going to be on Curry. You have somebody is going to try and guard Klay Thompson. I don't know what's going to happen. But like Rosser said, you got to stay away from them going on runs. You have to be able to mount the storm. And for the love of God, Ty Lue, please make a second half adjustment. I don't know if game 1's going to be ugly as I think it is, but if it is, I just hope they make a second half adjustment, because Ty Lue, I'm tired of hearing that friggin' Van Gundy on ESPN trying to talk about how Ty Lue is a great coach. Ty Lue is a loser. Anybody can go out there and set a lineup with this team. It's really not that hard. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, okay, well, who are you going to start with Golden State? They have 5 freaking all-stars. You know who you're starting. The Cavs know who they're starting, okay? And honestly, I really would not be surprised if you've seen a lot of JaVale McGee, if you see a lot of players that are built like him that Golden State puts on the court, because Cleveland has nobody to guard him. They don't have a center. They don't have anybody. Because Tristan Thompson can only do so much on Draymond. I don't know, man. I'm tired of seeing the Golden State.
It really would have been something to see had Houston pulled it off like they should have in Game 6 and Game 7. But it comes back to, like you said, having a game plan coming out of halftime, because clearly if you watched those games like I did, if you watched Games 6 and 7, yes, Houston was without Chris Paul. I understand that. But you look at the way that they played basketball coming out of the half. The third quarter, especially, in both of those games, they just failed to show up. And that is the exact same thing that cannot happen to the Cavs. The Cavs have to find a way to finish the first half strong of each game and then come out running, busting out of the gates in the second half, trying to get something going, because otherwise the Warriors will pounce. They are absolutely great at not only coming out of halftime, but coming out of timeouts. That's why they want you to call a timeout when they go on a 10-0, 11-0, 12-0 run, and so that they can get right back out there and do the exact same thing over again. And then all of a sudden you're looking up at the scoreboard after 3-4 minutes of game time, and instead of being up by 10, you're down by 12. That's why they've won 2 of the last 3 championships.
I am going to go ahead and just put my prediction out there now. I'm going to try and be as real, about this as I can. Of course, I would love to see the Cavs win. I would love to add on to my championship tattoo. Put some 2018 on there. But I'm going to go ahead and just be honest. I got Golden State in 5. I don't really agree with what everybody's saying. I mean, LeBron is literally by himself. That's all it comes down to. LeBron has to score 90 a game, and is just like every team that's gone in Boston. They already told you 100 times, and they'll tell you 100 times again. Boston's game plan was tire out LeBron, and LeBron just went to Game 7 against Boston. Boston is not even close to what Golden State is. Boston was missing their 2 best players, and we went to Game 7 with them.
And it took LeBron playing all but 40 seconds to secure a victory.
And I like LeBron is a superhuman athlete. Everybody knows that. The guy he works out before a game. He works out during the game, of course, because you know what he does on the court. And then you see him working out after a game. The guy is phenomenal with everything that he does to his body, but I got Warriors in 5. If the Cavs, for some reason do end up pulling some out and they, because the wins are not going to be blowouts. That's all that comes down to. They're not going to be blowouts. These are going to be close games that if the Cavs are in it. If the Cavs end up winning, it's going to be Game 7. And like I said, like anybody would, LeBron James in Game 7, you'll take it every day of the week. You're playing with house money right there if you're putting LeBron in a Game 7. So I got Warriors in 5, Cavs in 7 if it comes down to it. But I'm just trying to be a realist.
For what I've said about the Warriors, they did show cracks against Houston. I won't say that we have somebody that can play in the post like Clint Capella, but if for some reason Kevin Love and, dare I say, Tristan Thompson can find a way to put together decent performances in the offensive post position and really work Draymond and JaVale and Zaza and work Golden State's bigs and wear them down just a bit. Slow the tempo down. Try to get good to great looks. They don't have to be 3-point shots every possession. Just working guys down low on the block, trying to get good shots up. If Tristan and Kevin Love can put together what I think they're capable of at their best, then Cleveland has the best opportunity to take them down. Like I said, it's going to be difficult for either team to take any game on the road. Sorry to anybody that's hoping to get a Doritos Locos Taco from Taco Bell for a team. It's not happening this season. If it does, it'll be Game 7. I think win or lose, the Cavs will force the Warriors to play Game 7 in Oakland. And it'll be a very interesting Game 7 indeed. And if it does make it to a Game 7, like Paul said, I cannot bet against LeBron. So being the optimist, I guess, in this situation, being more optimistic than Paul, I'm going to have my final prediction, Cavs in 7. I think the Warriors are going to give the Cavs everything they can handle, but the way I've seen LeBron play in 2 Game 7s this postseason, sandwiched between an absolute routing of the top seed in the East, LeBron's just going to make it happen. One way or another, somebody else is going to have a great game. Corver's going to go off for 20. George Hill's going to go off for 20. Jeff Green even could put in 15, 20 a couple times. He is going to find a way to get this team a championship.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and respectively disagree. And the only reason is because you already you hit the nail on the head. You already said that you've seen Braun play what? 2 Game 7s?
2 Game 7s this postseason.
2 Game 7s. One was against the Indiana Pacers. Now, I'm sorry if there's any Indiana fans that ever listen, but your team's not good. You guys, I mean, you guys are a very well team.
They got
They don't have a superstar on their team. You guys are just, a bunch of players and you guys gave the Cavs a run for their money. Because why? Because the Cavs are not a full team. It's LeBron and a bunch of people. And then I don't even want to get into the Raptors, because if anybody who really thought that the Raptors had a chance, I mean, when your slogan is we the North, you the dumbass, no chance in hell for the Raptors. Rosser texted me before the series and said I got the Cavs in 5, and I just laughed because it's like, I don't even know if anybody even wants to even talk about the series. I had no thoughts about them losing. Boston, now I got to be honest, for anybody out there who's really getting into this, Boston was missing their 2 best players. You give them Kyrie can either go off for 15 and shoot 1 for 50, or you can see what he did when he was in Cleveland multiple times, and he dropped 55 on San Antonio. He dropped 50-something on the Portland Trailblazers before. We've seen Kyrie go off. Kyrie plays in that series. There's no way that the Cavs are even going to Game 7 with them. It was over. And I don't want to say that the Cavs struggled, but I will say that the team struggled. LeBron, I mean, dude, LeBron's done everything you can ask. LeBron, and that's the thing that we've come to realize with LeBron, and anybody who follows LeBron can really notice this. And I kind of picked up on it once, about the second year he came back, and it was, nobody sits here anymore and says, all right, LeBron's about to do this and blow it. LeBron's about to screw up. We're really sitting here now in Vegas putting on bets of LeBron's going to drop 40, and what else? Is he going to drop 40 and a triple-double? Is he going to drop 40 and 15 and 9 like he did, or 36, 15 and 9 like he did in Game 7? I mean, the guy has proven himself time and time again that he is the best player in the world. No hands, no question about it, but he has nobody else with him. And Ty Lue, like I said, Ty Lue will screw it all up because Ty Lue played Kyle Korver 9 minutes in Game 6 against Boston. So when it all comes down to it, there's a lot of things that the Cavs need help on. And it starts with Ty Lue, and it ends with what will the front court do? Or the back court, sorry. Because George Hill, at home, the guy he's averaging, 17 a game? On the road, he's averaging 8, 6, something like that. He's been awful on the road. And that was against Terry Rozier and Marcus Smart. So, yeah. Now you got to go against a 2-time MVP in Curry, who doesn't play defense. But the thing is his offense is just that good. It makes your offense look bad because you're already thinking about your next possession on defense. So, hopefully George Hill and JR don't come out and shit the bed. I hope they come out and actually hit some stuff, because JR, it took him till Game 7 to hit his first 3 in Boston in the entire series. So, for a while he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. It's either going to be a long grinding series or it's going to be over quick. That's my way of looking at it. I don't even want to get into people saying this, people saying that, other than if you're a Toronto fan really thinking you had a chance against the Cavs. I don't know. Rosser, anything, Game 1 tomorrow night, anything to add in before we end the show?
No, just like I said, I'll be pleasantly surprised if they can take Game 1 and set the tone in this series. They're going to have to play from behind like they did in 2016. They're going to have to play from behind in this series and really show up on home court. I don't see them taking a game in Oakland until potentially Game 7.
I'm going to be honest. I think tomorrow night might be a wire-to-wire job for the Golden State. I think it's going to be that bad because I really don't think the Cavs have anything left. And I know LeBron's superhuman, but what more does the guy have left in his tank? He's in his 15th year. He just played every single game, and he just played 48 minutes in Game 7, 3 days ago? 4 days ago? I mean, it's just not... I mean, you might be able to steal Game 2. Golden State might come in overthinking it, but right now I am not feeling good about this series at all. I was definitely one of those guys who was scoreboard watching, hoping to God that Houston would have pulled one out, but that's what happens when Chris Paul's a woman. And James Harden. Guys, if LeBron's not MVP, we'll go ahead and start rioting because James Harden, you're a loser. You dunked on Draymond Green in that series, which was phenomenal. It was great to see, but you shit the bed more than LeBron 15 years ago when he was just a freaking rookie. That was the worst performance out of a so-called MVP. You missed 20, or was it? He missed 15 straight fucking threes.
As a team, the Rockets missed 27 consecutive three-point attempts.
I don't give a shit about the team. James Harden, you're a loser, dude. You're supposed to be this freaking MVP, but all you do is go to a free throw line. You can't hit a three. You look worse than fucking JR did against Boston on the road, dude. That was embarrassing.
And then you have the audacity to not do post-game handshakes for Game 7. You pout off to the locker room like a crybaby bitch.
James Harden, you're on my shit list. We're going to go ahead and end this up. Guys, we have a lot of shows that have been on YouTube, on iTunes. We still have stuff going on Instagram, on Twitter. Make sure you guys are checking it out. Make sure you guys are checking the new shows. Trying to get it on the same page as Foisey. Foisey's got some shit going on. But Foisey's got some stuff going on, so we're trying to get the shows up as soon as we can. So if you guys start to see some pop up, there might be some older shows, but still check them out. Still some very good stuff. Roster's Rant, always check those out. Quick little hits. But hey, go Cavs tomorrow night. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. It's great to just know that we're back in the finals. It would have sucked to lose on the road in Boston, but I mean, it's just another thing adding to LeBron's legacy. 8 straight finals, 4 straight against Golden State. Hopefully we can split and go 2-2 against them. Hopefully we can pull it out. But we're gonna go ahead and end tonight's show. We hope that you guys check it out and check out any more that we drop soon. Until then, this was the Real Sports Talk Show.
It's over! It's over! Cleveland is a city of champions once again!
This ball is